Hey. I wish I had a better title. Or do I? I don't know. But it was what I put on my index card for today. Why good things make us want to throw up? Why do good things make us want to throw up sometimes? And this thought about it being good and we want this, or we're dreaming and we're planning and we're creating, and then we're ready to take an action, and all of a sudden we start to get nauseous or want to barf. That's it. So I didn't have a more clever name than this for today's live, but I think it's a really important topic. So yesterday I put a post on my Facebook and I said, okay, I just did something that is makes me want to throw up, but in a good way. And like was getting asking everyone, when was the last time you did that? When was the last time you took an action to move forward on a thought or a dream or a plan that you were like, oh, I might toss my cookies. So for me, what it is, I'll share what it is. I booked a ticket. I have a friend of mine who lives in Dominican Republic, and we were chit-chatting, and she said, I was saying, oh, I had booked an Airbnb just to a little getaway for myself. And she said, why don't you come here? The flights aren't expensive. And I hadn't even considered it. So then I started doing some research and found the flights are not expensive from Toronto to Dominican. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll come for a week. So she's like, yeah, for sure. As long as you want, come as long as you want. So then I messaged her back. I'm like, well, like, what if I come for 2 weeks? She's like, totally, come for 2 weeks. And then I was talking to my partner, and he's like, why don't you just go for 3 weeks? He goes moose hunting. So he's like, oh, you should just do it. And I said, oh my gosh, can I? Okay, yeah, I'll go for 3 weeks with my youngest. And she could do virtual schooling while we're there, because the opportunity, the way that things are happening, I work from home, the kids can be virtually in school. And so like everything's aligned, everything's great. I'm excited. I mean, I get to be in Dominican Republic for 3 weeks. Like, what makes you want to throw up about that? And I was just about to book my ticket yesterday, and then I messaged my friend. I'm like, okay, I'm doing this. And she's like, uh-huh, yeah, do it. And I was like, what is coming up? And I got to take a moment just to say, acknowledge my butterflies, my stomach turning. And I realized, why was I feeling this way? Why was I feeling a little bit of anxiety or stress about something that's an amazing opportunity? And what I realized in that moment was that I had never just done this before. I have never booked a trip to be gone for 3 weeks, away from my house as an adult. It's not something I've ever done. Go live with someone else for 3 weeks and bring my daughter, and, know that I'm homeschooling her there and run my business from there, which my ultimate dream, if I'm gonna just throw it out there, is eventually to be able to do things like that, where I go live somewhere for a month or 2 or 3 with my family, because I can work from home. But what's happening? Hey, Patty. Oh my God. Hey, Patty, how are you? This is so cool. Do it. Thank you. Hi, beautiful. Back to you, girl. Yeah. So our brain, our body, I know I talk a lot about the brain, but so me being in my comfort zone of being at home, working my business from home, is my comfort zone. And the thought of being in a foreign country is a stretch out of my comfort zone. And when we are stretching out of our comfort zone like that, our bodies are like, no, wrong, you can die. Because like our body and our brain, our job is to keep us safe, but it's not smart enough to know that like there's not a real threat here. So we get those fears and the swirling and the anxious butterflies, whatever you want to call it. And I got to remind myself in that moment. I was like, I messaged my friend. I'm like, okay, body, I'm safe. This is safe. I'm not I'm not doing anything that will put us in danger. This is all really good and exciting. So take a breath, calm down, like my stress response, my fight, flight, freeze response, calm it down, breathe through it, remind myself that I'm safe, I'm okay, I know everything is going on, and just do it. So wouldn't you have it, of course, that I'm like, all right, I calmed myself down and I go to book my ticket. And every time I was booking a flight, the flight was being sold out and sold out every time. I was like, oh my gosh, what's happening? I ended up calling and the airline that I was booking through. And I said, okay, like what's happening? I keep erroring out. And she's like, oh, the flights just keep being sold out. So I ended up booking a flight that has a 22-hour layover in New Jersey, like in Newark. So I fly Toronto to Newark. But I have tons of connections and friends who live super close that I can go hang out with for the day. And I'm sharing this piece because I think it's a funny story. My partner was messaging me and he's like, okay, did you book it? How's it going? Like he's really excited, which is great. Like I'm really excited too. And so he's like, well, what's happening? I'm like, oh, I feel like away, and it's more stressful than I was expecting. Like, poor me. Like, oh, it's so stressful booking a plane ticket to go to the Dominican, right? Okay, so fine, I'm clear. I'm clear about that aspect of it. But I was sharing what was coming up with me, with him. And he's like, well, what's up? And I'm like, I have a 22-hour layover in New Jersey, and he doesn't miss a beat. He responds back to me and he says, so what I'm hearing you say is like, that's what you're focusing on? You're focusing on a 22-hour layover over the course of a 3-week trip. And I was like, smart ass. using exactly what I would say, like against me. So I had to laugh, and I thought it was really a great reminder just to connect back in with the truth of it, and that all of these things are coming up, and in the grand scheme, like even me joking going, oh, it's so hard to book this trip, or I'm focusing on a 22-hour layover. It's all of these reminders to pause and to focus, to zoom out of what's actually happening and look at it from a different perspective, and that I'm safe, it's okay. We're gonna feel these feelings when we're doing something out of our comfort zone, aka something we've never done before. It doesn't matter how badly I want it. It's still something that's new. So this is applying to our life, it's applying to our business. And when we're outside of that sphere of what's comfortable, our brain's gonna just go crazy, because it's like, no, it's gonna do whatever it takes to prevent us from taking those actions. Even letting me trying to buy my ticket multiple times and not being successful, even pushing through the thought of a 22-hour layover, and luckily my husband was able to just like pull me back to present, going like, that's what you're focusing on. Shoot, you got me. Right. So zoom out and shift my own focus so that I can take action in something different and something new. So I saw Patty's comment. I think it's such a great one. I want to read it. It's like, this is how I felt leading up to the week where she did a virtual workshop, and she did an amazing job. Terrified of breaking through my fear. Yeah, so common. So we have that. It's always that choice, right? We can choose to stay in it. We can choose to stay in the fear and choose to not take action because of our feelings of it. Because that's what it is. It's actually just a feeling. It's not even the truth. So we want to do something, we feel it, we're excited about it, and then we choose to not take action in it. So, like, take the action, even if it's good. Our bodies are going to just naturally react because it's out of our realm of what we know, it's out of our realm of comfort, and we just take the action anyway. And be like, take that, fear. And it's not easy. And like, truly, where I messaged my friend, I'm like, oh my God, am I doing this? She's like, yep, do it, go. And then me, at that point, I was just committed to it. And I'm like, okay, I'm making this happen. And I mean, what's on the other end? A 3-week trip in the Dominican. Okay, sounds pretty good. Sounds like an amazing experience. So Yes, so that's what I wanted to share. So sometimes those amazing things can still make us feel queasy, but that means we still get to do them. We don't get to skip them. We get to do it anyway. We get to feel the fear. And I think another important point too is having a support around us to support us to do those things. My friend I called, my partner who was messaging me, even me posting saying, "Oh, I'm doing something scary," and I'm just getting a lot of really great feedback, and everyone's like, "Oh, like this is what I've done, and it was amazing, and this is what's on the every that saying, everything you want is on the other side of fear. It like truly. Patty, punch fear in the face. Punch it in the face. Take this fear. You're not going to stop me. Hey, Brandy. Hi, gorgeous. So that's what I got today. I have a keychain. I have a keychain. Is that what it's called? Oh my gosh, why am I, on my key is a keychain. Yeah. And it says, scared shitless, doing it anyway. Here we go. Here's another example of that. So, what are you doing to punch fear in the face? To be scared shitless and doing it anyway? To like feel the nauseousness, the nausea rise, and take that action. And just tell your brain, calm down, brain. It's fine. I'm safe. We're going to do this. So, what are you doing today? I would love to know. I'll have to think about it. Yesterday was pretty big. So, what's next? We'll figure it out. I hope you're having an incredible day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.